What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Minnesota multiple playbook in college football 25. This is the PJ Fleck offense. He's been at Minnesota for a few years, done a pretty decent job. That's not the easiest place to win at. Well, his playbook is pretty neat. It's a good combination of shotgun and, more importantly, the single back stuff. There's not a lot of playbooks that have a single back formations. Well, this one has quite a few that I think you'll really enjoy. This is the main reason why you would pick it. But it's called a multiple playbook, I guess, because it's got some option, a lot of RPOs built in it as well. But we're going to cover all of that. We're going to look at the formations, the concepts, play types, and personnel. And hopefully by the end of the video, you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So let's start off with the shotgun formations first. Starting off wing, that is a 12 personnel look with the 1 back, 2 tight ends. We got 9 plays there. Then we got wing slot offset. Then we got wing halfback close. And we got wing slot weak. So out of the gate, we got 4 2 tight end looks to have some fun with. So just keep in mind, this is a very tight end friendly offense. Then we get into our first 11 personnel look. Doubles offset, 24 plays there. Then we got doubles Y off weak. Then we got normal Y off close, Y trips, Y off trips weak, Y trio offset weak, and then we get into our first 4 wide looks. So look at all these 11 personnel formations, pretty typical. In most of these playbooks, this is the most common formation or personnel grouping in the entire game. But you do got 1 4 wide look, and it is trips halfback weak, so kind of keep that in mind. So let's look in here and try to find, I like to look for the pre-snap motion mini-series. Those are good drive starters and just things you can really build an offense around. So with wing, do we have any pre-snap motion there? We do not. What about wing slot offset? We have some tight end motion. Inside zone split, we got a PA slide. I'm going to call this PA slide. That looks pretty cool. So this is a very simple play to get the ball to your tight end. But you got some backside deep stuff to go to if needed. Go right here. Let's see. Again, just go to your tight end. He's going to get covered up. You only get a couple yards there. But again, you can read it high to low to high. Just up to you how you want to do that. I would normally read that high to low for most of these concepts. But you got that one in there. Do we got any more in this formation? We do not. What about wing halfback close? Halfback weak close, I should say. I don't see any there. What about wing slot weak? Do we have any here? We do not. What about doubles offset? This one's got a lot of plays. Here we got our first Z motion series, mesh spot, flanker drive, Texas double post. I'm going to call this flanker drive. We'll go up against a random nickel. So you got drive on one side and like a backside to come back on the other. Pretty slick. You can usually use zone for this one side, like right here. Again, just very easy yardage to pick up right there. But if they go strictly man and that Z receiver's not super fast, you can always hit that backside post if needed. If they go cover 0, you can go over the top to that go route. Just a good combination of things right there. But notice all 3 of those have that same type of pre-snap motion. We got some jet sweep. We got a zone fake jet. We got a play action. We got a jet pass fake zone on top of that. Keep on going. What about doubles Y off week? Do we have any here? We do not. About normal Y off. Do we got any here? We got a halfback swing. So I'm a big halfback swing fan. It's a very simple way to get your halfback out in space. This one's got an alert screen on the back side, so you can read this a couple different ways. You can either look at that corner covering that alert screen. If he's very far off him, like he kind of is here, like a true 8 yards, you can throw to him as quickly as possible. Or you can see if anybody's trailing this halfback. In this case, looks like they're not. So we should have numbers over here to get easy yards with the halfback. So again, it's just kind of up to you how you want to roll with that. Pretty cool play, though, in general. I like having that backside alert just in case if you need it. You keep on going. Do we have any more pre-snap motion here? We do not. What about normal Y off close? We got more jet sweep. We got the fake zone. We got the zone fake jet. We got the play action. And we got the actual touch pass itself. A decent thing about this particular play, if I'm going to run jet sweep, I prefer to run towards the tight end side like this one. At least you got a little bit better chance of a block from somebody. As you see right here, we're going to get a touchdown. If I didn't have that tight end there, it'd be a little tough to get to the outside. So anytime you pick jet sweeps, which I kind of cover this over my Bowling Green video on Patreon, again, it just helps you if you got an extra blocker on that side. Otherwise, it can get blown up pretty easily. All right, keep on going. We got the zone fake jet on top of that, play action on top of that. Yeah, there's that touch pass. What about Y trips? Do we have any here? We do not. What about Y off trips? Do we got any pre-snap motion? We do. We got some tight end motions, all the same ones. Notice inside zone split, P motion slide, and Y lead read option. I'm going to call it the basic inside zone split. Again, just a little window dressing, nothing too crazy here, but you're just reading the blocks. But what you're doing is you're trying to set that up later to where you can run play action on top of that. So again, all these plays just kind of work together. You keep on going. What about Y off trips week? Do we have anything here? We do. We got some halfback swing. So we got a Z spot, a motion halfback swing, and we got a pump and go on top of that. What about Y trio offset week? So this is a unique set of plays here. We got outside zone with the motion from the Z receiver. Then we got a PA motion slot. The only thing I don't like about that motion slot play is the crosser and the motion slot route are they're a little too close for my liking. So I'm gonna pass this on purpose. I'm not going to actually throw it, but just notice those two routes. Is it a good thing if those two are sitting right there together? You kind of have to wait till both of them cross before you throw it. But what happens if you wait too long is what just happened right there. You get sacked. So again, I don't know if you'll like that play or not, but it's in there if you need it. All right, what about trips halfback week? Normally, the more spread out you go, the less pre-snap motion you're going to find, and we do not have any. So you got a nice little collection of motion plays from the shotgun. But let's talk about the single back. So this one isn't as jet sweep heavy as you would find like at the Bowling Green or the Kentucky or the Washington playbooks. But let's look at these. Wing tight Z, 13 personnel, 3 tight ends out there. Then we got basic wing. You got your 2 tight ends. Then we got you off trips, same thing. Then we got tight flex. I'm pretty sure this is an 11 personnel if I'm looking at that correctly. Yes. Your top tight end is 86. He is out there, and your other 3 guys are receivers. So again, that's 11 personnel. Then we got doubles Y off, and then we got Y off trips. So that's all your 11 personnel. But you come through here, this is more old school pre-snap motion, not as very jet sweep. Just think it's very pro style heavy in its own sense. I'm going to call it halfback power O. Let's go up against a 4-2-5. So again, this is just another way to get the ball to your halfback. But see if your tight end can help block for you. If I can find a crease anywhere, just good defense up front by Iowa. But either way, you got that, but you got the play action built on top of that. So kind of keep that in mind. Do we got any more in this playbook, in this formation? Yes. PAY corner. That one works really well with that halfback power O we just looked at. What about wing? Do we got anything in here? We got more halfback power O and PA power O. So this is where the pro style stuff kind of comes into play with this playbook. What about you off trips? Do we got any pre-snap motion here? We do not. What about tight flex? A very unique formation. Not a lot of playbooks have this one, but as you can tell, it's mostly just run, drop back with a little play action built into it. Doubles Y off. Do we have anything here? We do. More halfback power O. And look, the PA power O on top of that. You got Y off trips. Do we got any pre-snap motion? We do. It's more tight end. So notice all these formations from single back were very tight end oriented in terms of its pre-snap motion. So again, kind of keep that in mind, but there was no jet sweep at all. Again, like that Bowling Green playbook, which has got a ton of it in there. All right, we got a wildcat formation. It's unbalanced. This is usually the most popular wildcat formation in the game. We got 3 plays here, but it's all jet sweep oriented. Everybody has seen that plenty of times before. So we've looked over the formations. I'm going to talk about personnel. We've already covered some of this. The bulk of the playbook is 11 personnel, as you would imagine, but we got a ton of 2 tight end looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 12 personnel looks, but then we got the 13 personnel stuff too. There's the wildcat we looked at. There's the 13 personnel formation, and you do got 1 4 wide look if you need it. So you got enough variety here, but the bulk of your play call is going to come from these 2 right here. Let's talk about concepts. So notice the play counts. This isn't the biggest playbook in the world, but let's go look at the run starting off. Let's go over to counter. It says we got 10 counters. If you're going to have that much counter, you should have that much power, which we'll look at here in a minute. We got a couple ISOs. You got 9 outside zones. If you're going to have that much outside zone, you're going to have a ton of inside zone. But there's 11 power. So power and counter go really well together, and all those halfback power O's we looked at, they are all dumped right here. We got 8 draws, so if you're going to do any type of drop back, I suggest you do some halfback draw to build into it. Just easy. It's just a very simple way to counteract those drop backs. But we got 24 inside zone, an absolute ton. And inside zone is always the most popular run concept in the game, but even this playbook has more than usual. I mean, 24 is an absolute ton. Again, complement that with your outside zone. Go look at sweep. We got a couple there. All right, let's look at the option. We got 44 option plays, but it's like half option. Actually, like a 1/3 option, 2/3 RPO. We got 8 RPO peaks. I'm not the biggest fan of the peaks. I prefer bubbles and alerts. They just work for me a little bit better. But you got 8 of those. You got an inverted veer. You got a couple of speed options. As you see right there, those are my favorite of the option plays. You got 13 reads if you need them. But notice, look what the tight end's doing a lot of these. You got zone splits. These are read lead options. You even have a buck sweep read option. On top of that, there's another zone split, and guess what? Another zone split. So you are moving your tight end around an absolute ton in this playbook. There's those speed options again. We got 6 RPO reads if you need glance routes, backside posts, but these got backside bubbles. I know RPO Y flat is a big popular play in this game. Go over here. If you can just get any type of blocking, you can do some serious damage with that for sure. Very easy read on that one. So you got one in there as well. You keep on going. We got 12 alerts. These are my favorite types of RPO. It's just basic backside bubbles or like an alert screen. I tend to work with those a little bit better. So you got a good, healthy RPO game in this playbook. We got 31 quick passes. This is actually a really high number compared to some other ones, but this is a multiple playbook, so it should have a bunch of different things. Ohio, 5 of these. That's actually a high number. We got 1 Omaha. We got 13 slants, but notice some of this is going to have that stick built in on the back side. We got 2 spacings. Remember spacing. Spacing is kind of similar to the spot with that little Z route. Little stick concept. But speaking of stick concept, we got 10 sticks. So stick and slant will be your 2 go-tos for that. Let's look at the mediums. We only got 59, so this is a very run, play action, over the top. So, but you got some medium stuff to work with. You got 3 choice plays, any type of option route, they'll just kind of dump it here. We got 9 curl plays, so any type of curl or a hitch, they'll put it here. I'm a big curl fan. I'm going to call this one. We'll go up against nickel. So you got 2 types of curl flats. You got actually like a curl out and then a curl swing. I'm going to go ahead and, yep, he's wide open. Good deal. Nice. I love it. So you pick a side with the least amount of defenders and you roll with that, or you go to your best player, just however way you want to go about doing that. But you got 9 of those. You got 7 double moves. You got 5 drives, so a dig and a drag going in the same direction. Then we got mesh, 2 drags facing each other. One of my favorite concepts, 7 of those. That's a good high number. You got 6 Salems. You got 4 shallow crosses. This is the opposite of drive. You got 2 slot crosses. You only have 11 mesh or smash. Smash is usually the most common medium pass concept in the game. This one, you got enough in here. Like this smash from Gun Trips Halfback Week is the perfect combination of the 2 main versions of that. You could do the flag hitch or the corner flat combo. You got 3 spots. So I mentioned that little quick concept earlier. This is kind of similar to that. You even got one with the tight end, which is pretty cool. I'm actually going to call that. I think this is pretty neat. So you even got a little Z spot with a tight end. Go to that guy right there. Going to get an easy 8 yards. They were blitzing pretty hard on that one. So that's pretty cool. You could do it with the tight end. Again, very tight end friendly offense. And we got a couple of Texas routes. All right, deep pass. We got a little bit more here. We got 3 divides. We got 11 floods. I'm a big flood fan. Backside man beater with his own concept on the other. We got 4 Portlands. We got 17 shot plays. So again, inside zone, outside zone, power, counter, and you're going to do a lot of this stuff going over the top. We got 10 comebacks. Complement those curl routes with these comeback routes. I love comeback. We got 5 daggers if you're a fan of the slot go with the backside dig underneath it. We got 6 double post. We got 14 verticals. That's a good healthy number. Then we got 2 meals and we got 5 switches if you want a little run and shoot in your passing game. It says we got 16 play actions, but we know better. It says we got 8 boots. Plenty of boots. I'm a big boot fan, and the slide kind of goes with that as well. And it says we got 17 screens, but we actually got a lot more than that. Most of these RPOs we've already looked at. It says we got 3 flanker screens, and we got a couple mid screens. If you go over to play type, and you go over to pass, and you go to screen, we got 19 screen passes. These are your old school screens, basic halfback slip screens. You got your wide receiver screens. I'm a big halfback slip screen fan if you can get the play off. It's just a very simple way to get the ball to your halfback, especially against an aggressive defense like this. Pick up some easy yards. If the run game isn't going, but you need to get the ball to your best halfback, That's a very good way to do that. Most of these playbooks will have plenty of halfback slip screens. But again, you got some other basic wide receiver screens as well. But most of your wide receiver screens are going to come from those RPOs. But we got 49 play actions, just about as many as I mentioned in that Bowling Green playbook, an absolute ton. So again, this is what you're doing. You're running, you're doing a lot of play action on top of that, whether it's from the single back formations or it's from all those shotguns we looked at. But 49 is a humongous amount of play actions. And then we got all those quicks. It says we got 10, but those are some of those jet sweeps we mentioned earlier. Let's talk about the runs in a little different light. We got 43 inside handoffs. So the bulk of your run game will be between the tackles, especially so you don't have a whole lot of jet sweep out of those single back formations. But you do got 9 outside handoffs, and you got a couple of pitches. We got those counters we mentioned, a lot of power and counter. So this is a nice diverse run game. Power, counter, inside zone, outside zone, it's all here. On top of the draw, again, you got a good collection of all that stuff and not just one or two of each. We got a fullback run. It says we got a couple of QB runs, and we actually got a QB wrap at a bigger formation. I'm going to go ahead and call this one. If your quarterback can handle it. If he can't, I mean, do not pick this play or particular play, but either way, that one worked really well. Our quarterback could run a little bit, and I followed my blocks and everything, and that worked out fine. So that's a cool little play if you want to use it. All right, let's go look at the option. There's only 16 option plays in the playbook. Basic reads, a few speeds, but that's it. So this is not the reason why you pick the playbook, but it's in there if you need it. And we've got 26 RPOs. That's a good amount. I mean, not compared to like Texas that's got like over 50, but 26 is more than enough. It just depends on which ones you like the most. Do you need plenty of peaks? Do you need plenty of alerts? There's 12 alerts here. And these are my favorite ones. I just think they work really well in this game. And that is it for this playbook. I like it. You know, it comes down, do you need plenty of shotgun, but you need plenty of single back. If you don't need much jet sweep off your single back or even your shotgun, if you want a good play action, pro style offense that's got a few other RPO related things as well, I think this is the way to go. So pick this playbook if you like that combination of things. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.